I own a Richmond Martial Arts in Richmond, BC. We have about 330 somewhat kids to adults training here. So we have as young as 2-year-olds, like my daughter, she trains here, she's 2 years old, it's the cutest thing. We have all the way up to like adults, parents in their 40s. We have quite a few disciplines, so we really try to make people welcome here so they can find what fits them. So the different disciplines we have is, first of all, we have Taekwondo. Taekwondo is basically kicking and punching style. It's very popular with our kids program. The kids get to learn to do jumping kicks, defend themselves, their confidence really increases. They get to earn belts, they get to break boards, they get to spin weapons around, they get to learn acrobatics. So definitely, like for a child, that's like the closest thing to being a ninja. We also have programs for our adults as well. We have Krav Maga, which is an Israeli self-defense system where they can learn how to defend themselves against multiple attackers, against knives, against guns, on the floor, in situations where you're dizzy, when you're tired, with the lights off. So very realistic self-defense. Okay, and then we also have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is more of a grappling style. So people who like to wrestle, who like to wear the gi and just kind of train, we have that too. We have Capoeira, which is like a kind of a combination of dance and martial arts. So there's a lot of following the beat, a lot of movements, a lot of disguising your techniques into dance. And we also have Muay Thai, which is a striking art. So they do a lot of punching, kicking, a lot of exercises. If you want to get in great shape, definitely that's a great class to do. Elbows. We have also a version of cardio of that, where if you just don't want to do the fighting aspect, you just want to get in good shape, you can do that too, and minus the actual sparring. Yeah, so we train kids as young as 2 years old here. Training kids is like the greatest thing. It's the awesomest job to have. Every day I wake up, I can't wait to go here and just train with my kids, ask them how the day was, how they're learning, especially their progression, like seeing them start very small, very shy, quiet, grow up to be like these performers. A lot of them actually have performed at events that we've done together. Martial arts is great for building confidence in children. They start off with kind of unsure of themselves, but the more they start learning, the more they can grasp a technique, that's when their self-esteem goes up. So when your self-esteem goes up, confidence is going to go up. And then from there, they're just going to keep getting better at the point. And then what they do is they start teaching to other kids who are coming below them. And again, the confidence just keeps rising from there. Yeah, I think it's important for the contestants to get an idea of what martial arts is because martial arts teaches 3 aspects that I think will make you successful in anything, in life, business, just personal development. So first of all, confidence. As they start learning something and they get, hey, I'm getting good at this, boom, their confidence is going to go up. Leadership skills. When they're confident, they're going to start helping their peers. So then their leadership will go up. They're going to start learning how I can transfer this knowledge to somebody else. Martial arts also teaches really good self-discipline. So the more the contestants can do things on their own without being told, the better they're going to grow, the better everybody's going to see them as trustworthy. So my experience being a judge in the Ms. and Mr. Vancouver pageant last year was really great. Something I never done before. So I really got to learn a lot of tricks of the trade in that avenue, as well as I always watch those reality shows on TV, the judges, so it was kind of cool to be in that spot. I kind of seen how much it takes. A lot of sitting, a lot of watching, a lot of in the hot heat. Everybody else gets the breaks, but we're sitting there all day just judging. So it was definitely a cool experience, and it was really good to see the contestants start from very beginning. When I first met them, they're all like kind of, you know, don't really know who they are or anything, so kind of I only had like 1 day to kind of get to know them. And then from there, seeing them in a couple of months later, showing up in these nice, beautiful gowns and dresses, walking the floor with the lights, their makeup, everything. It looked really, it was a great transformation, and it was just, yeah, it was like the coolest thing. Like I would definitely I would do that anytime again. It was really awesome experience. So one of the coolest things for me, my highlight, was when I got to actually trick all the audiences at the event. So what I did was I went up to the very front stage and I just started pretending like I didn't know what was going on, and I was looking around, I couldn't find anyone, and I was just totally pretending like something was going wrong. So people started looking at me. I even started asking the people in the audience, I just asking them, hey, you know where anybody is here? Why is this show starting? So then what I did is I started walking closer and closer to this plank of boards that they had set up. At the beginning, people probably just thought I was just there for like a scene, but really we had it set up for me to break it. So as I got closer and closer, I suddenly just said, you know what? Okay guys, I'm just gonna start this show on my own. And I just went up, I broke the board, and right away after that, we got the smoke coming out, and all these martial artists start jumping, flipping into the background. And from there, I think everybody knew it was a setup. So when I was a judge for the last year's pageant, one thing was very easy to see was their confidence. I could easily tell when someone walked up what kind of confidence level they were. It wasn't just how they looked, it was their voice pattern, it was the way their head was positioned, their body was positioned. Here in Richmond Martial Arts, I actually teach kids 3 different types of ways to show confidence. It's called stand up, look up, speak up. So I always tell kids, you gotta stand up tall, okay? You gotta look up and you gotta speak up. So these are the same 3 things that I can relate to the contestants. So if they can walk tall, they can stand tall, and they can speak up and make eye contact, they're going to be great in their pageant. So we brought you guys back here to do some basic martial arts moves. I believe martial arts teaches you self-discipline, confidence, and leadership skills. So I believe these are the 3 things that's going to make you successful in your pageant career. Okay? So whenever you learn something and your self-esteem goes up, your confidence is going to go up. Okay? So that's going to play a big part in the final day when you walk up there, your confidence, how it's going to show. Also your self-discipline. Okay? There's a lot of stuff you're going to have to do on your own. Don't be expected to be always told what to do. So really self-discipline is important for you. And if you can translate that information to help others, your leadership skills will grow. So I think those are the 3 things you guys should take from today. So the styles the contestants are going to be learning today are Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Krav Maga, Muay Thai, and Capoeira. So today what we're going to do is we're going to break off the contestants into groups, and I have my team of martial arts instructors who are experts in their own style. And basically they're going to come in and they're just going to show what they're good at, and we're going to see how fast these guys can grasp these techniques. And whichever team can show the most confidence in demonstrating that technique that they learned, they're going to be chosen as the grand champions.
Krav Maga was designed in the 1950s by a guy named Lichtenfeld. He was an average guy that knew boxing and jiu-jitsu and was designed or designated to start up a fight program for the average guy, for the average teenager, the average person who could get into a war within 3 months and actually survive that war. Ever since then, it's evolved into different kinds of weapons, different kinds of fight systems, but the essence of Krav still stays the same. There's no nonsense. If there's an attack that's in front of you, you have to disarm the attack. You got to take down the attacker as quickly and as effectively as you can, and you got to get out of there as quick as you can. And that's exactly what you're going to learn today. The technique you're going to learn for today is a defense against an attack from a gun. The gun's going to be pointed to the front of your head, and your job is to disarm the attacker, take the gun, and disengage as quickly as possible. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is basically a wrestling style martial art used to manipulate leverage to maximize your maybe limited body size to its full advantage. So it was developed in Brazil by the Gracie family. It came over from Japan as judo, and the Gracies were a little bit smaller, need a little more leverage, so they slowly developed this style basically that anybody could use, and it's very effective. It's a close range, like I said, wrestling style. When we train jiu-jitsu, we train full speed, so we're always wrestling. Every day we're on the mat, we're training hard. You know, so it's important to learn a lot of safety rules. You know, number one being the tap out. So anytime your training partner catches your arm or your neck or anything like that, if we don't know how to communicate that we surrender, I mean, it could be a bad day. So you can go home with an injury or 2. But that's where the tap comes in very handy. So you're going to let your partner know when you've had enough just by tapping them, and they'll let go. And then again, another safety thing is learning how to fall. You know, in practice we throw, and we throw repeatedly. So it's important to know how to hit the mat and bounce back and come back up. If you don't, again, if you're falling awkwardly or uncomfortably, it's going to be you know, a long road and lots of aches and pains.
Okay, so you guys will be doing capoeira today. So capoeira is a Brazilian martial art. It was developed by the African and Brazilian slaves in Brazil over 400 years ago. So the slaves weren't allowed to learn martial arts. So what they did was they disguised the martial arts in a form of a dance. So they incorporated music, they incorporated acrobatics, and of course martial arts. Okay, so that's pretty much capoeira. So capoeira is a lot of, again, overcoming fear, like what Johnny said before. It's overcoming fear.
Okay, so what I'm going to teach you guys today is Muay Thai. If you don't know what that is, it's the sport of 8 limbs. So essentially what it boils down to is it's kickboxing, Thai kickboxing specifically. So the difference between North American kickboxing versus the Thai style is we don't only utilize punches and kicks, we're utilizing elbows, knees, clinch work as well. So as far as kickboxing goes, it's a lot more exciting in my opinion, just because there's a variety of really cool techniques, super applicable. If you're comparing it to other martial arts versus karate or taekwondo, for example, it's not a point-based striking, so we're not just trying to land the technique, we're trying to break. Okay, so when we're kicking the leg, we're trying to break through the leg. When we're elbowing, we're trying to elbow through the head. So it is a little bit of a brutal sport, but it evolved from Muay Baran, which was a combative used by the Thai military. So it's all close combat scenarios there. So a lot of the techniques we work are in the clinch there when someone's up close on you. So very applicable when it comes to self-defense scenarios. A lot of stuff carries over, and it's a real exciting sport to watch for sure.
Okay, so let's start with the capoeira group. What did you think about your group?
I think it went really well. There's a lot of confidence in doing those kinds of moves. They're very complex, so I thought it went very well, yeah.
How was yours?
I thought the guys did pretty good overall, considering they only had a few minutes to learn the technique. Yeah, you know what, considering they just had a few minutes, I thought they did really well. It's kind of a tough concept to grasp sometimes, but I thought they did well, yeah.
I think, yeah, based off that short frame of time, I think they were still throwing the technique pretty confidently. It looked overall pretty clean.
So our dilemma now is out of all the 4 here, how do we filter it out? Like, you gotta eliminate some people and then pick the top 2 and then eliminate a game. And the winner is the martial artist. So the reason I started martial arts was basically I grew up in the era of watching like Van Damme, Chuck Norris, Karate Kid, all of these kind of like shows, and I just was really fascinated with it, and I just kept telling my parents I want to do that, I want to do that, and one day they brought me and I signed up on it, and from there, the minute I saw a black belt walk by, I said I need to be a black belt. So my journey in my martial arts basically started with me just going to class maybe like 3 times a week. And from there, the more I trained, the more I got hooked on it, the more I started finding things I liked about it. Like one thing I really loved about it was the sparring aspect. And then also achieving the belts. I really wanted to get the next belt. I would actually be sitting there in my classroom and teachers talking, and I would just be kind of doodling when I think I'm gonna get my black belt. So for me, I went from 3 days a week to probably about 5-6 days a week within a year of just doing it nonstop. So for me, I was able to achieve my first degree about in 2.5 years, I got it. Okay? And I've been doing martial arts in total now 20 years. And really, for me, it's just about the longevity. I'm so glad that I stuck with it, and I've just been doing it. And going from when I first started to being like just a shy person, not being able to step up in front of anybody and talk, and I would always walk away if I saw something I didn't want to get involved with, to now I'm running like, you know, a really big organization here in Richmond. I'm always going up there performing, helping my kids. I'm always doing pep talks, I'm doing school talks. It's a huge transformation that it changed me. Like just like superhero gets changed by being bit by a bug, I got bit by a bug too, and I got transformed. So the performers who actually performed at the pageant, they're actually friends and students of mine, and I'm a martial arts school owner. My gym's called Richmond Martial Arts, and basically we set up a good little sequence. They set up a sequence where they practiced for at least a good 6 months on that, and they came up there, and then even like the day of, they were practicing all day, the day before, and just their experience was just great. Like they had a blast doing it. It was awesome to show off their skills in a professional environment.